What's going on, my fried shrimp? It's your boy Austin here, better known as Glowl on the World Wide Web. And today we're going to be looking at the Gen 4 beta sprites that were, I guess, leaked not too long ago. It's about maybe a week or two ago they were leaked, and today we're going to be checking them out, giving my thoughts and discussions. I have a video pulled up. It's by the creator Mixily. I'll definitely give a link to their video down below, so if you'd like to check out the video for yourself, definitely do so. Gen 4 is an extremely popular generation, especially in talks like right now, because everybody wants the Gen 4 remake. And so what they got was not a Gen 4 remake, but the Gen 4 before the Gen 4 that they know, kind of, in a way. They got some mons that they didn't think they'd see. So these are all beta sprites based off of the Pokemon that we know and love from Generation 4. We've got Turtwig in the gang, we've got Arceus, a bunch of these Pokemon, Garchomp. A bunch of these Pokemon look different. Some of them are like finalized and they look the same, but for the Gen 4 beta, this is what they were working with. This is what they had at the time. And I always think this stuff is really entertaining. It's really interesting to see like what could have been, like what we could have gotten. I don't know. I think it's really cool to see. If you'd like to see more stuff like this, let me know down below, because there are Gen 2 versions of this. There's a Gen 1 version of this. So if this is something you'd like to see more of, definitely let me know down below and I will bring it to you. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and start this video. All right, so as we have it here, Turtwig's not much different. But Grottle, right off the bat, we have something a bit different. Grottle here, clearly, they were kind of knew what they were going for. They wanted the trees. They wanted it to be in a shell, but they just didn't quite get it. And he kind of looks like a mini Torterra in a way, which, I mean, that's what he is. Let's not, that's what he is. But yeah, we could have gotten more of like the trees on his back other than what we have here with the bushes. So that's pretty cool. This one I think is just hilarious. Look at how, like, he just wants to give up on life. Torterra, he just wants to give up. He does not care about anything. He doesn't want to be here. It's hilarious. Now, for those of you that don't know, Torterra is probably my second favorite starter of all time. So just seeing, like, how it could have, like, I don't know, there's a different vibe to him, obviously. And we have to take in mind these are incomplete, so, like, maybe this is just what they threw together real quick, but like the whole face is different. The tree's still there, the spikes they knew they wanted. The tail over here is a bit bushier. Yeah, it's just crazy to see like this, like we could have gotten something like this. So the Chimchar line are pretty similar. The Chimchar line they kind of had done. They knew what they wanted. But the Piplup line, we've got this. We have literally like Primplup's design is not very good in my opinion. But we have this, and it looks just like a baby Empoleon. And Empoleon was, of course, done, so they kind of knew what they were going for with that. They kind of had an idea. They're like, okay, we got Empoleon, so how can we make him, like, smaller? What's a middle stage version? And they went with this instead. And I don't know. I feel like that's kind of crazy. I'm going to go ahead and, like, skip through. Any of these that are, like, all the same, I'm gonna skip through because I only want to like show you guys like the crazy ones. So if they're pretty similar like this, I'll probably skip through them unless there's like slight changes. Maybe I'll talk about it, but just a heads up. Shanks is kind of cute. The beta Shanks is kind of cute. As you can see, they had the tail down instead of sticking out. The hair obviously is the big one. What happened to your hair, boy? I feel like they really they was smart to change it to blue to make it not look like he's bald, because he just looks like an old man kind of right there, and I don't want no old man Shanks. Luxio is about the same. He's pretty good. It looks more finalized in the final version, obviously, but yeah, no, that's pretty good. And now with Luxray, he's actually not too different. Honestly, he's not too different. The hair isn't as spiky, and on the legs, the colored part is in the front instead of the back. No, I like it on the back more for sure. But also, maybe it's just because I'm used to the one in the back. I don't know. I definitely prefer the spikier hair on the one on the right, the finalized version. So here we have Cranny Dose. The final version of Cranny Dose looks a lot friendlier than this one. This one actually looks like some kind of like dinosaur, where it's Cranny Dose, you can still tell it's like a dinosaur, but he's cute. He's cute. And this is a really big one. Look at what we could have had for Rampardos. That's kind of crazy. Honestly, there's a chance I like the other Rampardos, this one, the beta Rampardos, slightly more. I don't know. It's tough because this one looks bulkier. It looks like it probably has better defenses. The spikes on his head are smaller though, and obviously the big change is the colors. He's not blue, he's like a brown color instead. Oh, and actually the arms are pulled back here instead of down like this. I don't know. Maybe I like the stance of this one more, but I might like this design better. But I like how this sprite looks more. Maybe. It's a tough one. This is actually a tough one. It is cool. I hope someday, maybe we'll see a variant like this sometime in the future. I doubt it, because what type would it be? You know, it would just be the same, really. I don't know. It's always something to think about. Because, yeah, definitely I do think this one looks pretty... does look cool. Alright, Bastiodon is the same, so nothing crazy there. Okay, so Combee, bud. Does this gross anybody else out? Is this kind of gross looking to anybody else? I don't know why. I just think a little grubs squirming around in there. I don't know what would they be? Like, I don't know. But it's kind of gross looking. It's a little gross. But this Vespa Queen, pretty solid. It's cool. Of course it'd be better. Like, obviously this one looks more like final, because it is the finished version. But you can't tell me that this wouldn't look cool if it was actually like finished. This would look really good. I actually think I prefer this bottom bit here to this one on the right. And the color scheme's not too bad either. Honestly, it's really not. I don't know. This is another one where I think I might prefer the beta sprite over the finalized version. The arms could do some work, but they look very bee-like. She does look like a bee with those, so I don't know. What do you guys think? So far, a lot of these are actually looking very similar. There's not much different to them. The sprite's a bit different, but it looks the same generally. But this one, they went with a different color. I'm kind of curious why they changed the color. I don't mind the green one. They could have used this as a shiny version. What's the shiny Bronzong look like? Oh, so it looks like they actually did. Yeah, so that's pretty much the color that they scrapped. So it looks like they kind of thought about it and used it in the shiny, which I do like. Now for the big one that a lot of people are talking about, because this line changed completely. This line had like a almost whole different design. Look at Beta Gibbel. Look at him. He's so cute. Honestly, he's really cute. Now, I don't know. Of course, I doubt they'd ever bring these back as like a variant to the original forms. I don't think they do that, because they did they scrapped them for a reason, you know? They were like, nah, these aren't what we want, so we made a new one. But it'd be cool to see maybe if they ever, like, if Gibbel ever does get like a different variation in like Gen 9 or something. I think something along these routes could be cool, but of course then it'd be a different type. This does look ground type instead of dragon, because he is a land shark, so keep that in mind. But then for Gabaite here, he's kind of a little bit more like a dinosaur. I actually don't like this Gabaite. I like the Gibbel and the Garchomp, but not the Gabaite. The Gabaite's kind of iffy looking. And then if we take a look at Garchomp here, we can see that they kind of had an idea of what design they wanted, but the colors are different. The fact that he's got like these rocket jets on his head, the jet things on his head, they're gone completely. He's got like a larger nose type thing, and he definitely resembles like kind of like a, I want to say like a, I definitely do see more of a shark in the left one than I do the right one, I think, because he is like a land shark. So with like the fins and stuff, I definitely think I see the shark aspect more in the left one, in the beta sprite, except for the tail. Actually, the tail on the right one looks more sharkish. But yeah, like I said, like this is what we could have had for Garchomp, and I think that's really crazy to think about, because like this is a complete like change. Like they had an idea, but it's definitely different from what we got, and I don't know, it's pretty crazy to think about. Munchlax, Lucario is the same. Yeah, Lucario is the same. Everything's good there. This is just a hippo. I mean, to be fair, Hippopotamus does kind of just look like a hippo, but this thing, it's literally just a hippo. Now Hippowdon, he do be really ugly on the beta version. That's really ugly. To be fair, I'll give him, to be fair, Hippowdon himself is not a pretty Pokemon, but beta Hippowdon, like, what are these, like, hairs on him? What are these? That's another, I don't know. It's kind of gross looking. And his little nubs of feet, I don't know, dude. I don't know, Hippowdon. I'm sorry, bud. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna leave this here for a second. Finneon's kind of the same, just about, almost. Very basic Pokemon. A lot of people... Oh. Okay, hold on. I was going to say a lot of people forget about Finneon and Lumineon because they kind of just are like angelfish. I feel like had they have done something with Lumineon... I don't know. Actually, I think the one on the left's better. Like, the sprite... Not quite. They could have worked it out. Maybe added some color in the middle. I like the rainbow type of lines on him. I think that's a really nice touch. And if it was like changing between colors, I know they couldn't do it in Gen 4 because it was like a static sprite. But if like later gens, if they had the beta sprite on the left, if they use that as the final version, and they had like the rainbow parts on its like, I almost said feathers, on its like, what are they called? Fins? There you go. Fins. I was going to say wings, but that's not quite right either. If they had those, like, changing colors, they could have given it the fairy typing. I feel like they should have given Lumineon the fairy typing in general, but either way, I feel like that would have been a really cool concept for Lumineon had they have done that. It's just something to think about. Would Lumineon be as forgettable if it was the one on the right? Would people have cared more about it? I don't know. Snover's almost the same. He's almost the same. This one... It's not as cool. Yeah, I think the rounder version was definitely the way to go. Man, what do I think about that? That's a tough one because, you know what? No, I like the beta one better. It's more like Yeti-like, you know? Like, I feel like he kind of reminds me of Totoro in a way. He's like a big, like, giant type dude, but I feel like he just wants a hug, whereas the finalized version just looks sad. He just looks sad. I mean, it's just an unfinished. It's just unfinished. That's all it is. Now this one, it's crazy because they took the Togepi line. Togepi and Togetic, they were very cutesy, very friendly, and then they were gonna turn it into like this angry rocket-looking spacecraft. I don't know about that, dude. It looks like a Latios. Definitely looks like a Latios because of the whole like the blue jet-looking thing. I don't know. The final version's definitely better. That's all I gotta say. Now, if anybody prefers the finalized Yanmega to the one on the left, the beta version, I'm gonna judge you a little bit because it looks so good. And it's like a finished sprite too. It looks finished because it's got the border around it and everything. It looks like a finished sprite. And I feel like it looks so much better. It looks so cool. And I'm wondering why they decided to change it. I'm wondering what their thought process was. But like, it's curious because I want to know what they were thinking. Because why did they decide to change that? I feel like it looks really good. And they gave us the other one, which doesn't look bad. Like, if they had given us the beta version, I feel like they could have made it Bug and Dragon. And I would have been so happy. That might be one of my favorite Pokemon if it was a Bug and Dragon type dude. But they didn't. I don't know. They gave us the other one, which isn't bad. But actually, the tail on this one, like this bit, I feel like this looks kind of dumb. Like, it reminds me of like one of those snakes, like those toy snakes. I'll put one on the screen. Like that you always get your fingers pinched in. It reminds me of that, the tail. But, I don't know. Like I said, I prefer the original, like, beta design a bit more. What? Oh, Probopass. Oh, Probopass. Now, this is kind of interesting. I feel like they knew what they wanted, but they didn't know how to go about it. They're like, okay, we want like a little electric ball. And that's about it. They're like, hey, we need an electric ball so it can go into other things. Wait, are the other forms in this? Wait, they might not be in it. So I wonder if that wasn't like a thing at the time. Huh, they might have not had that idea. Maybe they did. I don't know. It's just a blue blob, you know? Imagine Game Boy Luke with that mascot. Imagine. Dialga and Palkia are about the same. The sprites just have a little bit of work that needed to be done, like the wings are sharper, but that's about it for them. Heatran, same thing, just needed to look sharp. Oh, man. Oh, dude. Now, it's just an unfinished sprite. But at least put some pants on, dude. At least put some pants on. Landorus Therian who? Landorus Therian who? Dude, Giratina, imagine if that was Giratina. He doesn't look evil in any way. He looks kind of gross, like what's hanging from his chin. I don't want to say what I think it looks like, but I'm going to let you decide what you think it looks like, and you can tell me down below. It's like you go into the distortion world and you see that, and you're like, oh, alright, that's not that bad. But compared to the other Giratina, the one that we finally got, like, that's scary. That's like, okay, this is a problem. But the dog looking thing with wings, it's like, well, you just tug on, and that's about it, you know, you get to go home. Now, actually, one thing with this is the design on the left, the beta design, they referenced that in the Rise of Darkrai movie. The logo for it in Japan, I'll throw it up on the screen, but the Japanese logo for that movie, you can clearly see it's a reference to the original. I don't know, it's kind of weird because I'm wondering why they scrapped the red, like, thing. Like, it looks bad. It does look bad, but for the logo for the movie, they decided to use like the whole entire red face part and the eyes even there for the movie. So I don't know. I'm wondering what they're like. I wish I could sit down with someone and like ask like, hey, why, like, what was the thought process between this? Like, why did you use that for the logo if you didn't use the? I don't know. It's curious to think about. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Obviously, the final design looks infinitely better. That's not like a you know, but I don't know, something to think about, I guess. Oh, they just went ahead and shaved Shaman. They just shaved it all off. There's nothing there. You got no hair. It's bald. It's bald. Used the sponsor for Hims to prevent. No, I'm kidding. They don't have a sponsor, but Shaman needs it. Now, this is a concept. While Beta Arceus does look kind of adorable, it's also sort of terrifying. Because what is it? What is it, you know? Like, it's like a ghastly, like, ghostly looking form. Like, if that's like I feel like that's scarier than Beta Giratina. For sure. So, like, it's just crazy. I don't know. I know I keep saying it's just crazy, but look at that. Like, that's actually insane. Like, what is it? And I think that's why I like it. Because what is it? Because we got the Llama God. And it's like, okay. But, like, wouldn't that be terrifying if you wake up and you see that thing just staring at you? I don't know. It might just be me. And now here we have the back sprites. I'm not gonna show like a lot of them simply because they're just so similar, but there's a couple that I need to pinpoint out. But like, that's the back sprite for Beta Prinplup, and we kind of could see what that means. So I'm only gonna show you like the actual ones that like are actually different than what we saw as the front sprite, so you'll see what I mean. Just give me a sec. Just look, I feel like he looks so sad. Like, the beta one he looks wet. He looks like a wet cat, just like not happy. He's really ugly. He's just so ugly. And the Rampardos, once again, looks like an actual beast. Whereas the other one's kind of friendly. You know, the final version's kind of friendly, but the one on the left, the beta version, it's a beast. Here. So, remember, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like I said, if you want me to make more beta videos like this one, because like I said, there is some more from like previous generations, but Gastrodon was meant to be in Gen 3 and not Gen 4. And they still weren't settled on the design, you know? So, it's cool to think that there's like a third Gastrodon that could have been out there, but it never appeared. But the third Gastrodon could have looked like that on the left with like the weird like star shape on his head with like I don't know, it looks like a star, I suppose. But yeah, it's cool. I don't know. It's interesting to see that like we could have had like a third Gastrodon and what it would have looked like, or if they had added Gastrodon back in Gen 3 like they were originally planning, I suppose. Back sprites for these three, obviously I'll show them. Look, it's still just a hippo. It's like, but yeah, you can barely even tell what that is. Come on now. Maybe I don't know. Ew. It's just funny. Look at how like unfinished Krogunk is. It's actually kind of funny. I don't know. It's cool to see like we got the cool Krogunk and like he's even in Pokken now. But like just like the original Krogunk, like just how it's unfinished. I don't know. It's kind of cool to see. Huh, actually, you know how I was saying I actually prefer the one on the left? But actually, back sprite wise, I don't. But it also could be just because I'm used to seeing the one on the right. But I don't know. He's just a big, friendly Yeti ball, man. I don't know. I like him. Now, this one has me wondering what they originally planned for Licky Licky, because the front sprite was the same as a regular Licky Licky, but the back sprite is not a Licky Licky. What is that? Like, where's his tongue, first of all? Is that the tongue? Is that the body? how would Lickitung evolve into the one on the left? I don't understand what they were thinking. Obviously, they scrapped it for a good purpose because Licky is one of my favorites. I love the dude. But Lickitung or Licky on the left, beta version, I don't know what, it looks like a snail almost. Could be, I don't know. I just, that's the theme of this video is I don't know. It's just, it looks like a demon, dude. It just looks like a demon. And still, I still feel the same way. I think the one on the left looks cooler. That's all I gotta say about that. Honestly, they should have just threw this whole Pokemon away. They should have just threw the whole thing away. Probopass ain't cool. Nosepass ain't cool. Just throw it away. We don't need. If there's any Nosepass or Probopass fans out there, it's fine that you like them, but are you okay? And there's the thing everybody's afraid of in Sinnoh. There it is. It's scary. Darkrai's stupid. Shaman's just as bald. And Arceus, once again, that's cool. I mean, it could have been done better. I don't know. But imagine if, like, it was just this wispy, like, what is it? You know, it's very, like, because it's like a god, you know? It brings, like, I don't know. I like that it almost, like, it doesn't have a form, and I feel like it shouldn't have a form. Because it, like, creates... I don't know. Do you guys know what I mean? Does that make sense to you? Please tell me if that makes sense. Because I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. But everybody, that was my, like, thoughts on some of the beta Pokemon from Generation 4. If you guys would like to see more beta stuff, please let me know down below. Drop a like because that would greatly help me know what you guys enjoy. I just thought some of these were cool to talk about, especially, like, the Torterra, Arceus, the Legends, Gibbel, Gabaite, Garchomp. Those are cool to talk about. I don't know. It's fun to see, like, what we could have had. And maybe sometime down the line, we'll see references to, like, the Garchomp, for example. Maybe we'll get a different form of Garchomp. Possibly. There's always a chance. Or, like, the Licky. Like, will we ever see something like that in the future? Who knows? I have no idea. But I just wanted to go ahead and talk about this as I think it was interesting. So, with all that being said, though, hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you hydro pump the like button. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.